You're supposed to be sitting over there.
Just want to say that before we get going, if we have a terrible row in the middle of this, just know I love you.
Go and sit down. You're already.
If you get hurt or upset, or if I say anything,
go over there and shut up.
Okay.
You've started.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, How to Stay Married So Far. And welcome if you're watching us on YouTube on Nadia, Sawalha and Family. And if you are, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will always know when we are around. So we have no idea what number podcast this is.
I do, 21.
Oh, I was going to say, and neither do we care, because what we have loved is having this conversation.
Would you like us to do some sort of feedback on some of your comments? There's so many meaningful and deeply sort of felt comments that you share with us, but we thought we should ask you before we just merrily read any of them out.
Yeah, because we do that with our other films on YouTube, with our gardening films and our movie reviews.
We did it with Aquaman and everyone in DC world hated us.
I suppose we could do it without selling... I don't know. I suppose people have done it publicly. They wouldn't mind us reading them out.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so...
What are we up to today?
This podcast is kind of based on one of the suggestions we got on Instagram, and it was from a woman who was saying, how do you just accept the differences in each other? She was talking about how she's very oversensitive and her husband is very argumentative and stubborn. I thought it was a really good question. You know, those things that we actually hate about each other. Because I know it's a strong word, hate, but if we're honest, most couples have something, God, I hate that about them. I hate it.
I'd have thought that's why many couples end up splitting up, because those things just fester and become more and more corrosive, and eventually it becomes the thing that drives you to drink or other women and running for the hills. Oh, it's amazing how quickly and easily I accessed that narrative, wasn't it?
Okay, so tell me some of the things you hate about me.
Oh my
How
God,
do you cope?
You can't just put me on the spot like that. Well, because my brain...
know all the things I hate
I'm
about
now in classic male mode, frantically running around the room, kind of going, oh my God.
Okay, well, let's start off with some of the more fun things.
Oh, right.
Like, if we were on Loose Women, this would be what they call the icebreaker, where you have a few little fun things that really
Okay, well, a
annoy
few
you.
fun things that really drive me nuts. The number one is, whenever in any single shopping environment we get to the purchasing point, the till, the checkout, you are almost designed. I see a look in your eye where you almost decide, I'm just going to do this because it's what I've done all my life. No one's going to tell me to change, this line is the line that gets me. This is the line that gets me. I'm a 53-year-old woman. I can do as I please. No one's telling you.
I simply do not speak like that. I
Yes,
do not
you
say
do.
do as I please. I would have said I do what I want.
Yeah, do what I want, exactly.
But can I just say something
I
to
haven't
you?
finished the complaint. And so every single time you run off, ferreting, why don't you just get it all and close off the purchasing at the point that we get to the checkout?
I will tell you, as I have been telling you for the last 15 years of our marriage, you become irascible.
No,
in a shopping city, you start
I do with
sweating.
you. I do with you.
You start sweating.
Hang on.
I just let you speak. Let me speak. You start sweating. You want it all to come to an end as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I do.
So when I see a queue at the supermarket, I say, okay, because it's always the aisle before last where you start to lose it. He can go and start queuing while I get all the last bits, because otherwise I never get any jam, I never get any peanut butter, I never get any peas, ice or fish fingers, because that's all the last bit. So I let you go and queue and I get the rest of the stuff.
But the girls say you're the same in every shop. Clothes shop, you are the same when we go to the theatre or the cinema. You don't like going in too early. You leave everything to the last minute. The other thing you don't do is you never end up packing at the checkout. It's like you are Lady Muck. It's like you point around the aisles. I need a bit of this. I need to get this. I need to get this. And then suddenly you just stand there on your phone whilst the rest of us pack the bag.
Right, so this is what, if you were having this problem in your marriage, this is what I would advise to get over this particular thing. Don't ever go bloody shopping together.
And I do. I always say to you, I prefer going shopping on my own.
Then
I actually like shopping. for the house. Food. Give me the longest list in the world, and I have a really mindful. You know all the.
Yeah, but then you come back with a load of old rubbish.
Okay.
You buy enormous bags of stuff.
No, I don't.
Where there's no room for it in the
That's
cupboard.
not true.
Why do you always?
I'm a man. I buy
we're having an argument. Stop.
giant boxes of washing powder because it's more economic.
Now you know the one thing I wouldn't mind a giant pack of is the washing powder. You know that.
Yeah, that's why I
you
always
know that's
buy
not
one.
what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, give me a silly thing that irritates you about me then. An icebreaker. Give us an icebreaker.
I
but it's not an icebreaker.
absolutely despise the fact that your trainers are always in the downstairs loo.
Okay.
And the fact that you use the downstairs loo, where when people are here and they want to go, is totally. It's like your wash bag has vomited onto the side. You've put down the towel that you've used on the floor.
I never leave a towel on the floor.
Mark,
I never, ever leave a towel on the floor.
Don't lie in front of people.
I'm not lying in
You're
front of
lying in
people.
front of people.
I'm
You
not
know
lying
I know.
at all.
Mark, don't talk.
I have
This is a
never.
podcast.
That is an exaggeration. The girls leave towels.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Do you know why I use the downstairs bathroom?
I
Because the
haven't
way you
finished.
girls have destroyed the upstairs bathroom, which I never go into, it's hideous. And I had a bath the other day, and as I stepped into the bath, I slid in oil. All I can say was like an oil slick, and had body lotions,
That's
all
your
sorts of
fault.
weird.
That's your fault because the bath is
What?
blocked.
A bath? It's not blocked. This is the residue that was left.
But hang on a minute. You had your hate. I'm having my hate.
Get on with it.
right? So then you put the towel that you've used on the floor,
No, I never
and then
put
we
the
have
towel.
your footprints all over, and it's left like that with pants open on the floor. So when somebody comes around and I forget, and I go use the loo, and I have to go in there and I go, oh my God, it's like Armageddon. It's like 15 schoolboys have been in there.
I now know when you have a guest who's staying the night or whatever, I always make sure that all my stuff is removed from in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't a very good icebreaker. That was more like
That was almost
a full-on
divorce papers.
World War.
Okay, so on a more fundamental level, what?
No, but I think the question that was being asked is how do we cope with that?
For those of you who are listening, there's a resounding look of confusion on both of our faces.
Those of you who are watching on
There's a
YouTube know
resounding look of
exactly
confusion on
what
our
look
face.
we're giving each other.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we don't really. Well, neither you don't try and change any of yours, and I try and change all of mine. That's how we try and cope. I forever am trying to improve my behaviour. You forever entrench yourself in believing what you do is right.
Oh my God, that's another thing I hate about you.
What?
You always going on about how much you're looking after your own behaviour.
No.
You're like
No.
this. You just
No.
with your halo. I'm surprised
No,
it
I
doesn't
haven't
knock
got a
you
halo.
out.
I just can't get it in the shot. What? What do you mean by halo?
Oh, well, and I'm always working so hard on myself.
Okay. That looks like a very
Okay, go on,
hateful-
have your hate thing.
What? I've said my hate thing. What's the...
No, that was the
moving on.
icebreaker. You've got to do a big one now.
A big one. Oh, right. A big thing that... I really, really hate the way... Sorry, I wonder what that was.
That's the dog
I
for
really,
those big on
really,
podcast.
really hate the way you manipulate logic in rows, and you constantly shift the goalposts, and just at the point that I feel that there's some kind of coherence or narrative solution to this, cause and effect. Okay, that's done that. You just throw a complete spanner in the works, and you take us off into the land of and how you will forever say, I'm not going to go mad on this. I'm not going to go absolutely sort of, bonkers on this. And then you go bonkers and then you bugger off and then I'm not allowed to even say anything. I hate the way you deal with it. You are not fair in war. It's not cricket.
All's fair in love and war.
Not with your love and war. You drop the incendiary device and then you leave the room. And you wonder why that makes me go apoplectic with...
It's a skill.
And then I go to great lengths to text detailed unpacking of where I've gone wrong, where it needs to sort itself out, and all you will home in on is if there's a word that says isn't or not, she'll go, see, there's my point. And you say, you literally in a row, you are not rational, you are not reasonable. I know in rows most people aren't, but in the kind of getting out of a row, you take no prisoners, you don't ever say sorry.
Okay, so that's something that you hate. And how do you deal with that?
Well, I have to confess, with difficulty. It makes me dread having a row with you because sometimes
Why don't you just not have a row with me then?
Because sometimes you seem to. Well, this is my point. You seem to think you're never the cause of a row. That is a real problem.
Mark, this is a bit angry.
I'm not angry, but I feel I can state my case. But you never ever believe that. You never think that you bring a mood or an atmosphere to the table that can cause a row. You never do. You never do. And I think a lot of men, there's about 8 men who watch this. Do you agree? Out there, please. I need
Somebody agree.
I need someone alongside me to back me up.
Okay, so first of all, what happens with us in a round, what I hate about you, is that you will create eggshells and greyness for days before I blow. And then when I blow, I can't unblow. And so to you, I can understand why it looks like madness, but it's because I've been suppressing it for days. So I suppose what I try to do more now, since we've had couples counselling stuff, is I try not to let it brew for as many days, hoping it will go. Because sometimes it's like, and we were told this by one of our couples counsellors, is that what happens is we're locked in a cycle where we will follow exactly the same pattern, where it's kind of like a bloodletting for both of us, and it's a dance, and we both subconsciously know what it is. And you will not be satisfied till I've blown, and I won't be satisfied until you've apologised in the way that you apologise, and it's just a vicious circle. And we don't do it anything like we used to do it, nothing like. Like I will say to you now, can I be honest? And you go, oh my God, Jesus, no, God, please don't. Because that is what so many men are like. They don't want you to sit down and be honest. And so I try now to say, listen, can I be honest? I've got eggshells, I've got anxiety because I can feel like you're pissed off about 10 different things and I don't know what it is, and it's going to blow. So why don't we just talk about it now? And we do that, and it does work.
But you would still steadfastly maintain that you don't ever, and I think you genuinely believe this, bring eggshelliness into the situation.
Only when you've been annoying.
That is so unfair. That manifests.
I'm not joking.
No, but that.
Of course I create rows.
You're saying that because we're doing a podcast.
Oh, for God's sake, man! Of course I cause rows. It's not fair for you to say that I don't ever say it or apologise.
Because one of the things I'm sure you hate about me, and you did hate about me for a long time, was that you always felt that I was, if I came through the door and had a bad day at work, my mood, the moodiness, you find moodiness a real turn off. Bad-temperedness. Well, yeah.
That old man bad-temperedness, I hate it.
Yeah, and I grew up with a really bad-tempered, moody grandfather in my life. And
it was like today when the dog rolled in the fox poo and you were going to go on about it the entire way around the box. You were, darling, you were. And I said to you about 5 times, come on, let's just forget it. Doesn't matter. We'll clean it when we go.
Did forget it.
Jesus Christ, bloody dog! And it was a stressful walk. It was a stressful walk, babe.
Okay, can I also say, one of the other things that I hate about you
This could be
is
long,
that
this could be a long podcast,
is
guys.
that you often say, you'll say things like, oh, it's really important that we just stop, we take some downtime and then within a nanosecond, you will hurl the biggest crisis back into the centre of the room. Your stress addiction. I'm a stress addict, you're a stress addict, but there are many times when I'm successfully conquering my stress and I'm not feeling it, and you will bring Because
if you're listening to the podcast, you won't see this is his face.
I'm working on my phone.
Yeah, but you are a ball of stress.
So are you.
Well,
you seem to think you're Lady sort of Godiva who wanders in naked on a horse.
What are you talking about?
You
couldn't get someone less lady. A, I'm never naked. B, I
know.
not
That's
size
something else I hate about
with long blonde hair trailing over my arse. I couldn't be less Godiva if you tried.
Something else I hate about you.
I like a Godiva chocolate. I like a box of Godiva chocolates.
Something I hate about you is that you put more clothes on to go to bed than you do to get up.
Oh, you've said that so many times.
But it's true. But anyway, going back to the mood thing.
I've got more body dysmorphia than you've got body dysmorphia.
I've got infinitely more body dysmorphia than you. So go on then. I mean, I'm chucking loads of hate balls at you. Give us a hate ball.
I hate when you... something I really hate is like sometimes if you ask me how I feel, I don't really feel like you actually want to know the answer. Is it true?
So sorry.
It's true. That's why you're laughing. Oh my God.
No.
You don't deserve me. Oh, my phone's gone weird.
No, is it still on?
Yeah.
No, I don't know why that made me laugh.
Oh, I think you just proved my point.
Sorry. I think I'm going to cry. It's sort of nervous.
Yeah, because you've been caught right
I
out.
haven't been
The
caught
reason
out.
you're laughing is you know that. Look at you, you can't even hold a straight face. Mark.
Of course I care.
How many marriage guidance counts have been, and you still don't want to know the answer to my
Of course
question?
I do.
Your question.
Which question?
When you say to me,
course
how
I
are
do.
you feeling, and I answer,
Yeah.
you don't really want to know the answer.
Well, no, I tell you what, my problem...
then...
That's not true.
I haven't finished the hate
But that's
yet.
not true.
I haven't
Okay,
finished the
keep
hate.
the hate coming.
So you ask me how I feel, then I tell you, and then you're immediately annoyed because you want to be depressed or you want to be
No,
stressed.
that's
And
absolute
sometimes it's really
baloney.
difficult living with somebody that has depression or has stress or has anxiety because you can never say that you feel anxious,
No,
stressed or depressed.
I can understand that's how it possibly feels. I don't feel like that, actually. I want, and I've said this on many other podcasts, I would like to be able to help you more meaningfully if you were to open up about more stuff. Where I get...
But if I say I'm stressed, you don't make me feel
No,
better.
no.
You go, oh my God, now I'm stressed. Why did you have to tell me that? I wasn't even worried about that. And now I'm worried too. And I'm like, okay, well, I won't share with you that I'm worried, but you did ask how I felt.
Yeah, but okay, well, let me explain why that's often the case. Because I can often see the things that I can, as your partner, presume are affecting you. Stuff with the kids, stuff with extended families, stuff with relatives, stuff with work, whatever. I can see that that's impacting on you. And then when I come in
But
and
you don't know,
hang
because
on.
you don't know what's going on.
No, I don't know. But here's the thing. Sometimes, and I'm sure other people, not just men actually, women and men in relationships will find this, I'll ask you what the problem is. And I do think it is a tendency in all relationships that whatever the outside conditions that are making you stressed or feel, out of sorts are, there's always something about your nearest and dearest partner that you can pin it all on. And so hear me out. So sometimes I'll ask you what's wrong, and I hear you starting to talk about me, something I've done, and something to do with my behaviour. And at that point, I go, oh, hang on a minute.
No.
This isn't about that. This is about A, B, C, and D, and yet you're attaching it
off
to... No,
the
I'm
fish
not
hook like that.
twisting anything.
Okay. Set aside any time I might answer with you being involved in any way.
Yeah,
though still, I don't
of course
see
I'm
what the problem
concerned
with
and
that
interested.
is. You keep talking over me. It'd be really annoying for podcast people.
Podcast.
Well, it will. People are listening with earphones.
Sorry, guys. If you're on headphones and you're on the tube, Nadia's giving me a look of such death. Go on.
I just can't speak because
Yes,
you
you
keep
can.
speaking.
Go on.
So, when you ask me how I feel, if sometimes it does include you, why do you immediately have to go off on one? Another thing, if it doesn't include you and you can't sort it immediately, you get irascible
No, I
about
do.
it.
No, I can take. Yeah, I accept that. I take that one on the chin.
So then I'm more stressed. So that's why I go, nothing, I'm fine, because I know there's no point.
But that is not about me not wanting to know. It's more often than not, I get crestful of you. It's totally analogous to when with the girls, like, I'm sure it's a classic dad response. On the edges of hearing them deal with their friendships and boyfriends and what have you. I get really stressed about it, but I don't say anything because no one wants dad to know, because no one's going to tell dad anything. Then part of me doesn't want to hear it because I find it so unbearable to hear.
We all know that because you
No,
collapse.
No, yes, but it's born of an absolute desire to want to help, because I know the last thing you're going to let me do is actively help.
Well, how convenient. Oh, the only thing it's born out of me wanting to help and knowing that you don't actively... What a load of male
not male baloney.
Mark, that was a smorgasbord of maleness.
Smorgasbord.
It was. That was absolute
Smorgasbord of
bullshit.
maleness.
The problem is that...
No, it's not.
I hope people are just screaming with your blooming... Anyway, you've asked me things I hate about you. I've just told you.
Yeah.
I hate that about you.
Okay, well, no, I hear that. Do you want me to change that?
Can you hear now? You can hear now when we're speaking the fact that we have been to a marriage guidance counsellor,
Yeah,
because
I
he
have
will
to
say,
hear that.
I hear that, and
I
I'll
have
go,
to hear that.
I'm happy you've heard that.
But the point is that here's another thing I hate about you. When
I think you've had more than me now.
When you decide that, like everything you've just said then, there's no room for discussion. You've decided that that's the way it is. I just don't listen to you. And what you tend to do is, and I don't know if other people find this, you will apply, say, my response to one situation on Thursday, you'll come out with some smart-ass comment like, you always da-da-da-da-da, and suddenly it's like, hang on a minute.
Every time you take me off, I sound like Penelope Keith.
My every
Like I've got a
response...
caftan
See,
on.
you're distracting again. My every response isn't like whatever specific response is that you're responding to.
You don't know what you're doing. You've got your knickers in a right old twist. You're rubbish.
Shut up!
Is this
I'm not rubbish.
posing an argument?
I'm not rubbish.
Oh my God.
I will listen to when I do listen to you, and I do care. Of course, I
You
care.
can't stop laughing, and you can't wipe the grin off your face now because you know you're lying.
I'm not lying. That makes me sound really callous, like I wouldn't be at all interested in what's going on for you. Of course I am. Do you really think that? Do you think that? Oh my! No, I'm not fearful. I'm
I
shocked.
do think that, yeah.
What do you mean? I have a huge amount of concern for what's going
No,
on
I
in
know
your
you
life.
do, darling. But okay, say if I look stressed or a bit unhappy, and you come and ask me what's the matter. If it's not something that you can't immediately rectify, you will make me feel worse. You end up making me feel worse because you'll go, well, now I'm stressed. It's like, I hate it. If I share my stress and you say, now I'm stressed, that's really annoying because I take all your stress. I listen to all your stress.
Okay.
I therapize you more than you therapize me.
But you don't want me to therapize
I do.
you.
It's too easy to just say that. I
But
really
you
like
have talked.
it when
You
you
have
do.
talked to many other
I
podcasts
sometimes-
about the fact that you make it very hard for me to reach in.
God, but you know, it might be hard to get the ball in the back of the net. But so what? Does that mean nobody ever tries to kick it into the back of the net?
Why are we talking about football?
I don't know.
Why are we suddenly on a football pitch? Because I really now want to kick a ball in the back of the net.
God, I think we ought to end this. It's
So
been
what-
very awful again, babe.
One
very awful.
other thing that really
Have we given
ro-
anyone advice through our experiences?
Well,
I don't
in terms
think
of how
so.
to do- well-
that is the point of the podcast.
Well, okay, you're right, and I suppose one of the things that Nadia's right when she says that she's just said all of that, and actually my heart is really hurting. That really hurts that she says that because I know there's truth in it, and my mass hysteria was guilt, and a realization that I can absolutely see that that's how it comes across a lot of the time.
You
Because
sweat.
I
You sweat. If I start
Right,
answering your question, you start to
Okay, I
sweat.
stand by that.
And you do this.
Okay, I stand by that. But I also stand by the fact that it is born. You're right. I end up
I'm in the
not
rest-
helping you and making the problem worse because I fear that I can't. I want to do that bloke thing of, right, how do I solve it? How can I fix this? Whereas you might just want to you just want to say it and you just want to be held and you just want to be hugged.
Well,
and
no,
you just wanna-
sometimes I do like it to be fixed, but you always get too stressed to fix anything.
Okay.
And sometimes on the occasions when you've done it, I've really loved it when you've gone, okay, listen, don't worry, I'll call this or I'll do that or I'll do this. And I really like, and I think in our marriage, I do that a lot more than you do.
That makes me sound really
That doesn't mean I don't
unsupportive.
love doing it for you. I do.
Yeah, but that makes me
I
sound
do.
really
And this isn't me
unsupportive
saying,
and selfish
"Oh,
and draining and leech-like.
No, well, but look what you've done. You've just tried to completely undermine me by going into a
that's not
completely
undermining.
extreme response. That is not what I
So
would
how
say
do I,
about
because
you.
we've had this discussion before and people commented on it, how do I sustain you in any way then?
And now this is another thing I hate about you. This is what you have. This is probably the top thing I hate about you.
Oh, right, okay.
And have done ever since
Good job
we
I
first
said
got
it then,
married.
eh? I was just throwing it in there
No,
to
but
remind
it's
you.
what the children call the thing that you do. It is not distinguishable or describable because it's the thing that you do. So I'm telling you something I'm not happy about, and you go, "Tell me all the things you love about me."
No,
So what
I'm
is
not
it about
asking
me?
that.
And it's like, no, because I'm not talking about that. This isn't tell me all the things that you love about me and tell me all the things that I sustain you with. We're talking about
Okay.
how we manage with the things that we don't like about each other.
Okay.
Well, can we get off that subject, which is your way? Can you just tell me how wonderful I am?
No,
please?
I certainly wasn't asking you to tell me how wonderful you were. I was just thinking the way you've said it, it makes it sound like I would never come in and have any interest in what the hell's going on
No,
for you in your
but
day.
well, if that's how it's
that's not what I feel in my heart. That's
Right,
not
well,
how
let
I
me-
feel on a day, minute by minute basis.
Let me clear that up. That's not what I think. And many podcasts before say how much I love you and what a wonderful husband are you and how supportive you are. What I'm saying is, at those times when I'm really stressed and anxious and you come up and ask me how I'm feeling and I answer you, I don't think you really want to know what the answer is.
I do think you are sometimes, when you are stressed, I do think you use me as a bit of a whipping boy for a lot of other problems.
Oh God. Oh my God.
I really do.
Well,
And I
let's
think-
leave that one. Let's leave that one because you've just proven me right. Leave it. Leave it.
Proven what right?
Leave it.
The one other thing I need to say as well that really drives me nuts about Nedra is if a row ever develops in public, she'll get louder and louder and will
You do realise this is public, don't
and
you?
will
Do you
actually
realise this is on a podcast?
stand in the middle of the supermarket or the shop or the precinct, wherever we are, saying, I don't care who knows or who sees. And of course everyone knows and sees because it's her off the telly. So it's really embarrassing. I hate
I
that.
don't think this has been a nice
I hate
podcast,
that.
Mark.
I hate that.
This isn't nice for people to listen
No,
to.
it's nice for people to know that they're not alone in their hatred of
Misery.
their partners. It's nice to know that clearly I'm a bastard who doesn't
Oh, you
give
see,
a...
this is what I hate about you. You take it to the nth degree.
You've said that sentence
I
a
said
lot.
I said one simple thing, and now you're giving the whole shebang.
Okay.
So I don't think we've done any good yet. Again.
So anyway, the one thing we have learnt from couples counselling is to allow the other one the time to say their stuff. And I promise, go away from this and think a lot about what you've said. And I will, I always do. I always listen to you. This is the most forcefully you've said it and the most publicly you've said it.
I've said it to you loads of
No, I
times.
know, but
I've
I
said
will-
it any less forcefully any other time. It's just because podcast people are listening. This is good. Hey guys, start a podcast.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Go on, what?
No, it's the end.
What were you going
I
to say?
think we should stop it.
The
I
end
think
of
we
what?
should-
Us?
No, the end of the podcast.
I think we've just hit so far.
I can't even remember what we hate about each other now.
Everything by the sounds
Oh,
of it.
I love you.
I told you at the beginning, I was giving you a kiss saying, whatever happens in this podcast, I'm coming out of this feeling like I've really let you down.
Oh, you're such an idiot.
I'm not.
Shut up.
What can I do?
Stop being
That's how I
such
feel.
dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic.
You are... So suddenly all the things that you hate about me, none of that matters. It's all just about this one
I was still at the
statement I made
icebreaker
about
stage.
you. It's just this one statement about you, and you're going to make it all about you now.
It's not, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're doing it already.
No, I'm not.
Have you got a fella that does this?
Oh my God.
Oh no! Oh God! Yeah, I know it
And
looks like.
sometimes she will always assume that I'm in a mood when I'm actually quiet and she doesn't stop talking. I mean, she literally doesn't stop talking.
Why are you talking like a teenager?
You don't stop
Why
talking.
are you talking like a
I'm not
teenager?
talking like a
You're doing
teenager.
upward inflection to try and get people
No, I'm
together.
not. Oh my God, no,
You
I'm
want
not.
people to gather with you.
Gather? What does that mean?
Gather onto your side.
Has what? All 6 men that listen to
Listen,
this?
everybody that watches podcasts and listen to podcasts and watch show you, everybody's always on your side.
But it's not about size.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean?
Everyone's always like, oh God, oh you're so lovely and you're so bossy and you're so this and you're so that.
Yeah, but we know that's not. I know I'm an arsehole. I know I'm a prized arsehole.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They think
I'm
I'm
saying
the
it. What more do they want? I'm an arsehole. I'm a total effing arsehole.
Shh, that's not nice.
I don't care. I'm going to go now.
I'm really sorry about that.
Don't
Do you
know
know
what
what?
happened.
Usually at this point I'd say subscribe to our YouTube channel, but I feel like a fraud. I'm not even going to say it.